Hey, are you struggling with or at least at a loss to where to find good investment property? Well, if so, perfect, because I'm going to show you 3 ways to find investment property so that you can get your share of the wealth that real estate promises to provide. All right, let's cut to the chase. Real estate has produced more wealth for more people than any other industry or any other investment vehicle, hands down. And if there's any doubt to that, if you've got any doubt about that, let me show you real quickly why that's the case. And then I'm going to show you how you will pull it off. And then I'll give you 3 ways to get you some real estate. All right? First, it's an ideal investment. And here's what I mean by that. Ideal is an acronym. The I stands for income. There's 2 types of income you can get from real estate. You can get active income, you can get passive income. Now the D stands for depreciation. Now what depreciation is, it's probably the biggest tax advantage the average person can get as far as mitigating their tax liability, as far as minimizing the amount of money they have to send to old Uncle Sam. The whole tax code is really kind of built around real estate, so that's important. The E stands for equity. Equity is really where a lot of the wealth is built. I mean, you got this monthly income that comes in for you, but then equity is being built underneath. Now, there's a few different ways to get equity. One way is you could just acquire it when you buy it. You can buy the property at a discount, and that you get equity that way, because as soon as you take ownership, that equity is yours. You make your money when you buy real estate. That's what that means. You buy at a discount, and boom, you've made money as soon as you take ownership. Or you could change the property's use. You change the property's use, it can change the value. Or you add square footage, or you add amenities. That can change the property's value. Or you could just wait for it. And that's through the A, of which is appreciation. If you just wait, equity happens through appreciation. And then the last one, which is probably the biggest one, and that's leverage. The average person has access to leverage inside of real estate like is not really available in any other investment. And what leverage does is it takes all of this up here and it can multiply it by a factor of 3 at least. And that's why it's created so much wealth. Now, how are you going to get some? Wealthy real estate investors, they clearly understand the objective of investing in real estate. And that objective, it's to make money. That's the definition. That's what you do. That's your job. It's your job to buy low and sell high. I mean, it's so simple, it almost hurts, right? And when I say sell high, I'm not speaking of selling the property high. I'm speaking of selling the right to use the property for a higher price than it costs you to own it. Because if you want to access the wealth that real estate promises, you don't sell. No, you buy, you hold, you lease. I mean, contrary to popular belief, you don't get wealthy flipping properties. It's possible to get rich flipping them. You can make a lot of money doing it, but you get wealthy holding them. You know, Warren Buffett says his favorite holding period is forever. That's what you call a clue. Now, let's get to the meat of this. The 3 ways that you can find good investment properties. Number 1, a realtor. Pretty simple, right? I mean, it's what they do. They find properties for people. Most of them, they help people find their homes to live in, but there are realtors that specialize in finding investment properties. I'd say the ratio is, I don't know, 1 out of 10. 1 out of 10 is best, that are capable of finding good investment properties for you. And a good place to find those types of realtors is just go scan all the different real estate websites that are available. You know, like Zillow, Realtor.com, Redfin, Trulia. I mean, there are countless websites out there that market real estate. And you can find these investor-friendly realtors by just scanning the property headlines on those websites and look for words like needs TLC, or cash only, or handyman special, or seller will carry. Those are just some of the typical realtor headlines that are clues as to whether the properties might be distressed or they're investment type properties, you know, where you can find a discount. Now keep in mind when you're doing this, when you're looking for the realtors, you're not looking for the properties right now. You're looking for the realtors that represent these types of properties. And when you find them, for the most part, you can contact these realtors directly through the websites that you're browsing. And when you talk to them, just let them know what type of investment property you're looking for. And here's a really good tip. Be specific. Be really specific. The more specific, the better. The better experience it's going to be for both of you. And what they'll do is they'll start to send you investment properties that meet your criteria. So that's one way, through realtors. Not my favorite, but it works. So the second place to find investment property is by going directly to the same source the realtors find theirs. Directly to the sellers. And if you do that, you'd essentially be, that takes us to number 2, building a business, your own real estate investing business. And that business, it consists of three main components. Here, it looks like this. So here are the three components of a real estate investing business. And right here in the middle, where all three of these components converge, this is where you have what we call this a badass real estate investor. Okay? Now, what makes up a badass real estate investor? One is they've got confidence. They know exactly what to do each and every day, and they know what they're going to get in return. They have that type of confidence. And that type of confidence propels them forward to get up and do it every day because the rewards are big. Number two is they know how to make money. They know how to make money. And the third part is they know how to take this money and put it to work for them so it works harder for them than they did for it. And that's where the freedom comes from. Okay? So, how do you get that? How do you get in the position to be a badass real estate investor? Well, it comes from those three components I was talking about. One is you've got to learn how to attract. You got to be able to attract leads. Number two, you have to be able to take those leads and you have to be able to convert them into contracts. Okay? So this is where you make your money. You make your money when you buy real estate. Once you've got control over the property through a contract, now it's time to exit. So you have to know how to exit. Because you make your money when you buy, you get paid when you exit. All three components are vital because if you can't attract, what you have is no opportunity. I'll just abbreviate that. You've got no opportunity. When you can't convert, you've got no control. And when you can't exit, you've got no profit. Now there are 3 profit accelerators for each one of these components, and I'll show you what that looks like. So to attract the leads, you've got to be able to find the problems. You have to be able to promote the solutions. And this is why this is important. You're not going to be able to buy real estate at a discount unless you can find an owner of real estate that has a problem. You attract them by promoting your solutions. Once you get these 2 things down, you then automate the process. That creates your lead machine that attracts leads to you. Now when it's time to convert, you've got these property owners with problems that you're talking to, and the way to convert them is with these 3 profit accelerators. You have to build rapport. Because when someone has a problem, they're typically not showing up as their best version of themselves. They need some help, and they want to work with someone that they know, that they like, that they trust, that they believe in their competence, that they've got confidence in their competence. So you got to be able to build rapport. Then you've got to know how to present your offer. And once you present your offer, you've got to know how to get the signature. Now when it comes down to exit, when it's time to get paid, you have 3 options of getting paid. You can flip, we talked about it a little bit, and sometimes you have to. So you buy low, you sell high, you get a nice little chunk of cash. Or you can hold. This is where the wealth is created. So you buy a property, hold on to it, you lease it out to somebody, they pay you for the right to use it. Or you can get the best of both worlds. You got the cash here, you got the cash flow here, and you can get the best of both worlds by finance. Seller finance the exit. That's how a real estate investing business is built. This is what it looks like. So if you don't like the idea of dealing with realtors and the idea of setting all of this up on your own to create your own real estate investing business, if this doesn't feel like it's a good fit, there is a third way that you can find investment properties. You can leverage someone else's business, someone that already has this in place. For example, ours. And there's other businesses out there like ours. We're not the only people that do this, but we've got a business that finds investment properties for people that aren't too excited about doing all of the heavy lifting themselves, or most typically people that are too busy to do it all themselves. So what they do is they come to us and then we just do it for them. We've got teams with this model in more than 10 different investor-grade income property markets all across the country. So a few times a year, I get together personally with a small group of aspiring investors to help them buy their first or their next investment property using one of those 3 methods. So if you'd like to join us, you can get the details and you can reserve a spot at epicintensive.com. There should be a clickable link below in the description. Go ahead and click it and reserve a spot at the table, and I'll see you there.